Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Hello and welcome to Game Over Vancouver. I'm Kaja Antic. I'm here with Alex Rickman of Canucks Chronicles. And we're here to break down the Vancouver Canucks and the Dallas Stars. The Canucks dropped 5-3, sorry. Apologies to Carson Soucy. I forgot that he scored. The Canucks dropped the game 5-3 to the Dallas Stars in Dallas. Very hard team to beat. But before we get into any of that, shift into hyperdrive and get ready to have some fun with your new source for all the biggest stories in hockey, bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flavor. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories, pop culture, and a damn fun atmosphere that'll drive debate, make you think, and more. Join Max Van Oot, Daphne Malboeuf, and Kevin Laramie every Monday and Thursday for your fill on the hockey world. Watch on YouTube on the Game Over Network channel or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. Head to our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for more. All right, Alex, how are you feeling tonight?
Confused just by the day that preceded this game, to be honest. Feels weird. Also, when you said 5-2 for the score, I actually did kind of think that was the score because I missed the last minute of the game. Was it who scored our last goal?
Carson Soucy snuck one by Jake Ottinger with 3 seconds left.
Ow.
Yeah.
Did not expect to hear that.
No, I didn't expect to see it. I was like, okay, I need to get ready for the stream, need to do all this stuff, and then I'm just like, they're just like, oh, and Carson Soucy, like, it's just random, like, side quests.
For him?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
His,
Alright, sure.
His second goal of the season. But yeah, so the Canucks, like, they allow the first goal halfway through the first, and that's when, like, Dallas started to turn the tide, but I feel like heading, like, just the first beginning of the first period, the Canucks had a pretty good showing, considering all the other noise that was going around with the team at the time, and we'll get into that in the second period here, but, just what do you think of, like, the start for the Canucks, considering they've had a lot of bad starts?
Yeah, I mean, like, with how we've been starting games this year, in general, the expectations are not that high for the start of a game, and especially on a day like today where there's that much noise around the team, you would kind of almost excuse a bad start, but, like, this was a really good start to a game. We need to see more of this. I think we were out shooting them, like, 7-1 at one point early on? Like, that's, against a team like Dallas, too, that's pretty good. It's like, you can't really complain too much there. I think by the end of the period, we were, like, shot for like 9-7 or something, so a little less good from there, but, you know, that was a good jump from a team that needs to show some jump.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, oh wow, maybe JT Miller was the problem, but no.
Yeah.
Uh, um, yeah, the Canucks tapered off later after Oscar Beck, gets his third of the year. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, there was a few missed high sticks on some of the Canucks.
Yep.
Or not, I mean, a few missed high sticks, specifically on Connor Garland. He was just getting, like, pummeled tonight. But there was also...
Just getting beat up.
Just getting beat up. I mean, like, he's easy to... he's small, compact. He's like a travel with me dummy. No, that means... I'm sorry, Connor Garland. I didn't mean it. Yeah, brain's not working. There's just been a lot of going on stuff. But yeah, he gets his revenge later on in the game. But no, then there was also a lot of the Stars kept trying to hug the Canucks really, really well. You see the one, Ilya Lyubushkin, like, completely wrapping around Pettersson in front of the net? No call. Then there's the one with Ben where he's just holding Connor Garland, and I was like, okay? Like, to each their own, but, like, this is a hockey game, you're supposed to be doing your job here. Yeah, no call there. It's whatever.
Yep.
Connor Garland gets the first goal for the Canucks of the night. Off a great feed from Niels Höglander. Is Höglander back?
I've liked his game lately. It looks like he's starting to get some confidence back. Seems like Tocchet is trusting him a little bit more. I'm hesitant to say he's back because I don't want to jinx anything, but like, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, he has more than 1 point every month. So I think
Progress.
And I mean, he's getting playing time, which
Yeah.
it's better to say than some other Swedish rookies that Tocchet has had, or Swedish young players. Anyway, the Canucks tie it, and then late in the second period, well, late-ish, like 4-ish minutes left.
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry?
I know.
Yeah, the Derek Forbort takes the tripping penalty, and Jason Robertson scores on the power play. Good for my fantasy team, not good for the Canucks. Do you think that was like the nail in the Canucks? Like, because I feel like after that, it was pretty much a Dallas Stars show.
Yeah, like I think the rest of that period we kind of held our own, but definitely that took some of the wind out of our sails going into the third, and it just didn't feel like we had the same energy after letting that one go.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. I was like, okay, cool, Jason Robertson scores. It's only a 1-goal game, but the Canucks come back out for the third, just not really looking like they're in it at all. And then Rupe Hintz scoring early-ish in the third as well, I don't think also helped.
That one really felt like the dagger that killed us. Also, a shame to see Forbort be the one taking the penalty. I think as of late, he has been playing really well after pretty unlucky start to the year with just various injuries and absences due to a bunch of different factors. So it's nice to see him playing well lately, but just unfortunate to see him take the penalty there that ended up kind of costing us in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it's Jason Robertson. He's gonna find a way to score anyway, but
not entirely his fault. He's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Rupe Hintz also has the funniest. He's the best headshot in the league. Like, it's just a guy. He's just a guy. I love Rupe Hintz. He also gets later on the Canucks pull Demko early. Like 4 minutes left. It's 3-1 Dallas at this point. The Canucks get the power play. Quinn Hughes, who had left for the locker room, comes back and looks like he's making some like kind of Batman-esque entrance going through with the lighting. It's really funny. If you haven't seen the video of it, definitely try and look it up for like Quinn Hughes returning to the bench. But yeah, he comes back on for the power play. 8 seconds into the Canucks power play, Rupe Hintz gets the puck, shoots it directly into the net with a shorthanded empty net goal. So, congratulations. You get double the little red icons on NHL.com. But yeah. Do you think they pulled Demko too early, or did you think the Canucks made the right call there?
I can see the logic behind it where you're chasing a game and you now have the power play opportunities, so you can make it 6-on-4. Especially for a coach who seems to at times be afraid to make the aggressive move and plays it too safe. I almost kind of like the move, but the fact that it backfired has me worried about what we're going to see in future situations where we need some aggression.
Yeah, I mean, he just learned how to call a timeout, so...
Oh my god, that was infuriating early in the year.
It's baby steps with a guy who's been in the league for decades. Anyway, like, Rick Tocchet has been playing professional hockey for so long, he was part of the 1987 Canada Cup. That's before Taylor Swift was born, which means it's a long time ago. Anyway, the Canucks, on that same power play that Rupe Hintz scored on, Jake DeBrusk gets one. He's still leading the Canucks in goals, which I find so funny because it feels like he scores once in a blue moon. But yeah, he has 18 goals on the season. He gets the power play goal. Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, the assists. And then later on, with about a minute remaining, Jason Robertson gets an empty netter for Dallas to put it up 5-3 after the Canucks pulled the goalie again. So Rick Tocchet is making moves. He's learning how to pull the goalie multiple times in a game. He even did it on a delayed penalty. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of a grown-ass man learning how to do his job. Congratulations, Richard. Sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then Carson Soucy with 3 seconds left makes it 5-3. Good job,
Allegedly.
Carson. Allegedly?
I didn't see it, therefore it didn't happen.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, allegedly, who knows? It could have been Danton Heinen who got the secondary assist on that one. What a lineup on that last goal, though. Carson Soucy, second goal. Phil DiGiuseppe, his 5th assist of the year, and Danton Heinen with his 12th assist.
Oh god.
19:56 remaining. It was 3.2 seconds on the clock. Just what a great move. Honestly, I think those last 2 goals really snuck by Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
Alfred says in the chat the power play was brutal tonight. I feel like they had chances, they just couldn't finish at all. They were pulling a Brian White.
Yeah, I mean, liked the movement on the power play, but eventually, like, it's got to go in the net, guys. Like, we can't just keep passing it. Eventually, you got to get one in.
Yeah.
I know Ottinger's, like, facing one of the best goalies in the league. You got to give him some challenges here.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ottinger definitely has his off periods, but he's overall a very good goaltender. There's a reason he's one of the 3 picked for 4 Nations. Like, that's a big thing.
Easily the most stacked team in net they have.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were meaning, like,
That's
Dallas, and I was like, isn't their backup Casey DeSmith?
Who is it? Think it is?
Yeah, it's Casey DeSmith.
Legend.
Yeah, Canucks legend. Oh, God. I mean, yeah, in a way, yes. I don't know. He backed up Archer Sheloffs in the playoffs, so it makes him a legend.
Exactly.
What else was I going to say? Jake Ottinger with an 8.97 gets first star of the game. What do you think about that?
He must have just wrote him down before Soucy had scored his goal and just thought, we'll just leave it.
Yeah, because I'm like...
Not worth fixing at this point.
Fair enough, but, like, come on. I mean, he did face 29 shots, but still, compared to... I mean, I guess Demko only let 3 goals in on the amount of shots that Dallas had, but Dallas, in total, had 16 shots on the night. That's not very good.
Not really.
Especially for, Demko, who... He looked to be back against Nashville, but also... It's Nashville. It's not, like...
It's not steepest of competition.
Yeah, especially, I mean, Nashville, like, he didn't let Steven Stamkos score on him, which is, like, insane, because Steven Stamkos always scores on the Vancouver Canucks.
Feels like in some of those games against Nashville earlier in the season, we just kind of forgot that covering Steven Stamkos is a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like he just had yards of space around him every time he got the puck, and what do you know? Steven Stamkos is going to score those goals.
Yeah, it's like when we got absolutely wiped on home ice by the Bruins in December, and, like, yes. no one was on Pastrnak the entire game, and it's David frickin' Pastrnak.
Pastrnak.
Like, the arguably one of the best players kept out of 4 Nations, because apparently Czechia doesn't exist to the NHL, so... Oh, I'm trying to find... Oh my god. So Jake DeBrusk, thank goodness he scored on that power play, because otherwise he would have been a -5.
Jeez, really?
I think, maybe. I might be wrong.
Okay.
He is a -4, though, so I'm assuming that would have made him a -5.
Yeah, oh man. Like, he's... Lately I've been finding with DeBrusk that I kind of just forget he's playing. Like, when he's in the season, I was noticing him a lot, even when he wasn't, like, before he went on that crazy hot streak, there were these games where he wasn't scoring, where you could still, like, notice him out there, like, noticing him getting chances, doing this, doing that. Then he went on that crazy hot streak, where, of course, you're going to notice him there. Lately, it's just been, like, quiet.
He's just kind of been like existing on a wing somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Just kind of doing cardio.
Yeah, pretty much. Bro is public skating. Like, honestly. Thatcher Demko's save percentage 786 on the night. Saved 11 of 14. I've seen better beer league numbers. Just saying. Like, I mean, I know he's got some injury issues and the Canucks were missing their best defenseman, who also was second in ice time tonight while being injured.
Okay.
Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. And also, like, I guess trading one of your best players, maybe that causes some concern for the goaltender.
I don't know if I'd say at this point that we're cooked. I think we're just burnt. Like, we were cooked a while ago, and we're still on.
We're still on? We're still, like, at what point
the
are
stove
we...
is still on. We have not moved.
At what point are we a 5-alarm fire?
Give it a few weeks.
Let's reevaluate after 4 Nations. Let's see who else they trade. Hopefully Rick Tocchet.
The deadline till. You said it, not me.
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts. I mean,
I didn't disagree with it, I just,
Yeah, I mean, hey, Linus Karlsson was traded for Lou Lamoriello, like his pick was. So, if you can trade for a GM, I'm sure you can trade for a coach.
It happened in the NFL.
Yeah. If it happened in the NFL, it can happen in the NHL. Just like CTE. Anyway. Don't ask Gary about that. He doesn't think it exists.
I'll talk about Philip Hedl just yet.
Oh, oh my lord. Okay. Wow. I did think that, I mean, while Brock Besser and Elias Pettersson are both minuses on the night, I do think they both had pretty solid games. I think they were more noticeable on the ice. Only Pettersson racks up in the score sheet. With 1 assist, and Besser gets zeros, but he had 3 blocks, which, well, I think they both had pretty good games, considering just the general lacklusterness of the Canucks for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, not anything that jumps off the page necessarily, but, like, pretty solid. Nothing to complain about. Especially now that we've pulled the trigger on the Miller deal, I think needs to start producing pretty soon here, but good game, like, played well.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, did a puck end up in a net because of him at some point here?
Yeah, I mean, he did have some good looks, he had some good shots, he had some good, like, high-power shots that were stopped because Jake Ottinger is Jake frickin' Ottinger. But, like, I feel like he's kind of getting his game back, and apologies to everybody who bet on a Pettersson, like, goal or a hat trick tonight, because, like, it's Jake Ottinger. He's not letting that happen, but we're playing Detroit on Sunday, and Detroit is Detroit, so they're gonna get walked, hopefully. Knock on wood.
It's the Canucks, you never know.
It's the Canucks, you never know, but also it's the Detroit Red Wings.
This is a double you never know, I think.
Fair. I mean, when is the Yzer plan? I don't think the Detroit Red Wings have made the playoffs since I've been in high school, and I'm finishing my college degree.
I do not remember the last time they made the playoffs, but it has been a minute.
Detroit Red Wings playoff history. Detroit's not even part of this game in any capacity. They're in a different conference, and they are catching strays. When was the last time they last made the playoffs in 2016, so I was in grade 8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And hey, they're 25, 21, and 5. That's a record. It's not a winning one, but kudos to you. They're probably still one of the teams in the East hunt because, oh, yeah, no, they are. the Bruins are out of a playoff spot. Sorry, I get really happy when the Bruins that happens to them. But yeah,
Not something we get to enjoy enough lately.
no, literally, the Canucks have been such a dumpster fire this year that like you have to also. There's no like good feeling when
You have to find joy in hating.
literally like I mean I've been doing that for years. You find joy in the misfortune of others. Is it a bad thing to do? Maybe, but
What's to say?
it's a human thing to do, honestly. Um, what did you think about elite defenseman Tyler Myers paired with Quinn Hughes?
Didn't mind it. I think the last couple games they've been together have been better. But like, I don't think he's been bad on that pair. I feel like if you're played with Quinn Hughes, pretty much anyone can be at least functional.
Yeah, that's why Chronicles making $7
Yeah.
million a year. That's the only reason why. Like,
Yeah.
it's because his stats got padded, and now we're stuck with him for so many years.
I thought that first goal that Dallas scored, he played pretty poorly.
Yeah. Shocker. Tyler Myers is an elite defenseman. Tyler Myers is an elite defenseman. He won a Calder for a reason. The way, like, I don't know what has possessed him these last few games, but he was, like, moving through Dallas like he was Connor frickin' McDavid. And this is against Dallas, who is a good team. Dallas is a good team. And then you have Tyler Myers, all 6 foot everything of him. And he's just cutting through them like butter. I don't know.
I think I put this in the chat on your last stream that you were doing, but just Tyler Myers occasionally just decides out of nowhere to be elite and then occasionally makes decisions beyond human comprehension. Lately, he's designed to be elite. Let's keep this up.
Yep. I mean, we need him to. Giraffe the elite. Exactly. Yeah. Ready to move on to the trade talk.
Yeah.
This is,
Sort of.
Sort of. I mean, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas is on a 4-game win streak now, so we didn't get that. Dallas gets that. We're not fighting them for a playoff spot, so I don't know. I don't think it matters as much. What else? Yeah. Anyway, before we get into talking about everything that conspired before the Canucks took to the ice tonight, looking for ways to help an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists and analysts across Canada. If you have a few spare bucks kicking around, you should head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thegameovernetwork. There you'll find multiple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. There's extra access, exclusive looks behind the scenes, Discord benefits, merch discounts, opportunities to give us feedback, and you can join us for special shows live, where you can interact with hosts as we launch more ways to improve your experience. If you're not able to spare a few dollars, we have a free tier available so you don't miss out. If you really want to help us, make sure to click like and subscribe on YouTube, rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app, and share our work on your social media of choice. That's patreon.com/thegameovernetwork for tantalizing goodies. Alrighty. So, the news about an hour before puck drop. Not an hour-ish, give or take.
A little more than an hour, I think.
A little more than an hour.
I missed a lot of this doing side quests, helping my dad with something, but yeah.
Side quest. I like the way that this phrase. Yeah, about an hour before puck drop, there's suddenly like substantiation to the rumors about JT Miller going to the Rangers. It's being tweeted, it's being put out there. Friedman's tweeting about it. All the Canucks insiders are going after it. So it's happening. JT Miller's actually going to the Rangers. He is scratched. He's pulled out of the Canucks locker room. There's a video of him going into the locker room, and then they're like, oh yeah, 25 minutes later, he's not a Canuck anymore. Yeah, JT Miller was being sent to the Rangers, and I felt like it took so long to get the return out. like
Yeah.
it felt like it was like, oh yeah, JT Miller's going to the Rangers. Okay, so is there's also going to be some prospects going to the Rangers along with Filipino, uh, Victor Mancini, and a first, but they weren't saying who the prospects were, and then it just kept coming out like one by one by one. It was Hedel, and then it actually no, I think Mancini dropped first because he was supposed to be playing in Hartford. For
Yeah.
I just remember one of the Hartford writers saying it online,
Hmm.
and then it was Filipino, who the Rangers, from a Rangers perspective, they've been trying to trade him for years. Like honestly, I don't know. It was him and Capo Caco, and now they're both gone. And like the kid line from a few years ago, one of them is left, and it's Alexis Lafreniere, who I would have loved in the trade, but we would have had to retain salary. So the full trade is to the New York Rangers, JT Miller, along with defenseman Eric Brandstrom and Jackson Dorrington. All three of them to the New York Rangers. Dorrington, Canucks prospect, hadn't made it to the NHL yet. Brandstrom, obviously traded from him earlier in the year, and he scored. He scored a goal. He was playing pretty well with Abbotsford too, and just Tocchet wasn't putting him in the lineup for whatever reason, and I guess Tocchet had a say in this trade because Eric Brandstrom also gets sent across the continent. Coming back to the Vancouver Canucks is Filipino, Victor Filipino, who's a forward for the New York Rangers, 25 years old, bit injury prone. I don't want to say like he's dealt with some injury, like bad luck for injuries before. Victor Mancini, who's 22-year-old right shot defenseman, pretty good for Hartford. I mean, he hasn't gotten up to the Rangers level yet, but that's just because the Rangers are like they have a pretty good decor already, and then they also have a conditional first round pick. So if it's in the top 13 picks of the draft, then the Rangers get to keep the pick, and the Canucks get the 2026 first. If it's under the top 13, then the Canucks get the pick. Thoughts on the overall trade?
Like I'm not going to sit here and say that I love it. Like obviously we're losing the best player in this deal. We're not going to get any one asset that can replace that, but given the leverage that we had in this situation and just everything that's been going on, just like the media circus around the team and this move, I don't hate it. Like I'm whelmed.
You're
Like
whelmed?
I'm whelmed, not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed. I'm whelmed. Like I feel like could we have gotten better? Not really, given the circumstances, and I do like all of the assets we brought in. So yeah, I don't like losing the franchise, but if he wasn't going to play, I think it kind of makes sense at the end of the day to try to get something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was on waivers, like, a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. I feel like people forget that we could have lost him for nothing, and now we actually get something back for him. I mean, obviously, he's not the main piece in this trade, but I feel like that's the part that I'm, like, the most worried about losing is, like, but Brandstrom, he has offense. He has offensive capabilities. He's not as solid defensively, and, I mean, Patrick Alvin, he did his press conference last week, was it? Or the week before? It was the 20th,
Something
so
like that.
almost 2
Yeah,
weeks ago now.
yeah.
Yeah, so
This
he
January time makes no sense.
Oh, yeah, no. I was like, it's 2 weeks ago, I think. But yeah. Um he said that Rick Tocchet, he could see him as a long-term coach, and if Rick Tocchet's going to be a long-term coach, then Eric Brandstrom being a long-term fit as Tocchet's newest punching bag, probably not the best idea. Um, yeah. Uh, I'm most sad about losing Eric Brandstrom and also just Natalie Miller, to be honest. My queen. It's, yeah.
Um, yeah, and I mean, like speaking from a biased perspective, I would say JT Miller was my favorite Canuck for most of his tenure, so it does suck to be losing that, but at the end of the day, it kind of feels like the more responsible move to part with him over Pettersson, at least right now if you have to. Plus, this gives you some runway to give PD a chance to prove himself without Miller before you make a decision on what you want to do with him.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was a bit like on the Pettersson front too. With Miller, like it was obvious. It's also like when they re-signed him, there was going to be the contract is going to suck later on. It is going to suck because it is going to be good for right now, and then it's going to suck. That was the deal with Horvat too, and I'm not saying Horvat like they made the proper decision over either. Honestly, I think they made the best decision in both of them heading out. Because like Horvat's out in New York Islanders, not able to have facial hair, and JT Miller's now back with the Rangers. I think it worked out for both parties. I think the biggest reason, like, when you're trading JT Miller, expect an underwhelming exchange when considering his value, also his contract. The Canucks, the main, Friedman said this, he said that when the Canucks and the Rangers had a deal for JT Miller initially, it was the retention. The Rangers wanted the Canucks to retain some of his salary.
I know.
The Canucks are already paying $4 million for another guy to not play for them this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing that for a number of years going ahead. They don't want to have to do the same for JT Miller. So
with the term on that contract too, like
and like even if you think this trade result is underwhelming, I think in the long term it helps the Canucks better than it helps the Rangers. I think the Canucks can also, I think they keep Mancini. They might keep the first rounder, but again, they flipped the first for Chronic. Have that discussion what you will. They flipped the first for Chronic, and they ended up also wait, what was I gonna say? I mean, they flipped Anthony Beauvillier, but, like, let's be honest here. And then I think they also flipped Hronek. I don't think Hronek stays a Canuck for long, whether that's at the draft or at the... I don't know if they do it at the trade deadline. I think they give him some time. But I think he doesn't stay a Canuck, at least... By the end of this calendar year, I think Filipino isn't wearing blue and green.
I mean, Hedel.
Filipino.
Said Hronek a few times.
I said Hronek, is that...
Said Hronek, that was...
Last year, I wanted him to be traded at the draft, and I was watching the draft. It was the only reason I watched the draft, because we didn't have a first rounder. So, like, I was like, why am I watching the first round of the draft? Oh, because we're going to trade Filip Hronek. I can't wait for this. And then they re-sign him.
I don't know if you can see the confusion on my face there, but I was thinking, you think we're going to trade Hronek by the end of the year? That's okay, that's a hot take here.
I mean, they're both named Philip, and it's, like, the same spelling, too. Because it's, like, like the European, like, F-I-L-I-P. Like, my brain doesn't work this way. We can be now disappointed in two Phils that start with F. Kaja always trying to get rid of Hronek. I have my reasons! What's
are you talking about?
What's your take on do we think what do we think of what the Canucks are going to do with these assets now?
So I'm going to just preface this by saying I'm not going to pretend I'm overly familiar with either Hedel or Mancini. You definitely watch a lot more Ranger games than I do, so I don't really know everything there is to know about them. Hedel I like as, like, kind of a middle six center. I wrote an article on this. If you want to check it out at Canucks Chronicles, please do. Follow us at Canucks Chronicles on Instagram. Anyway, yeah, like Hedel seems like to be a good middle six piece. Obviously, could well be traded. We know how aggressive this front office is, and they're not going to just sit on a guy if they don't think he's useful. But I think could work out. Injury history definitely concerns me. The number of concussions he's had is a little iffy, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But, like, if he can stay healthy, I think this is a piece who could work out quite well here long term. I learned who Victor Mancini is today. That being said, the research I have done on him in the time between the trade being announced and now has me pretty optimistic about him. Like, seems like a pretty good profile. Big guy, skates well, right shot. Seems kind of like what we need. Wonder if we give him some NHL action this season. Wouldn't mind seeing him play over Noah Juleson. It's a thought.
Yeah, I think I think he could play. I think he could play for in place of like a Juleson, to be honest. It's like, I mean, I watch the Rangers and I keep up with like their prospects like on the fringes a bit, but yeah, from what I've heard from Mancini and everything, I think that he factors in quite well for the Canucks. Whether that's in Abbotsford or if they call him up for the big leagues, I think they could. I think they should, to be honest. With Hedel, yeah, I think he's like a middle six center, bottom six center. Our lineup tonight. Let me review what we had, who our centers were, because like I'm not sure who he'd replace. I feel like he'd replace like a Suter, maybe, as like a center.
Like bump Suter back to the wing.
Yeah, I feel like that could be the solution there, just because, I mean, like, Suter has scored a number of pretty good goals, but yeah.
Suter, he'll work anywhere you play him. Like, he's gonna put up a pretty good game in any spot.
Yeah, he's kind of like a plug and play guy, so there's that. I mean, on the Rangers front, please send Juleson down to the AHL. Damn, okay. How many times have we heard Noah Juleson learn Abbotsfordese?
Many.
So many. I really hope they utilize heel speed as he is intended and not the dump and chase method. Please.
Oh god.
Please stop the dump and chase. Leave that
doing
alone.
My head in at this point.
Honestly. But yeah, Hedel is very fast. That was part of the kid line that they had a few years ago. With the Rangers, it was Capo Caco, Philip Hedel, and Alexis Lafreniere. Capo Caco now obviously with the Seattle Kraken. And I mean, honestly, I think that's worked out for both sides. Well, Borgen's doing pretty good. He just got extended in Rangers, and Capo Caco's doing pretty good with Seattle. I mean, both teams are out of a playoff spot, which is insane to say for both teams. But yeah, I think Philip Hedel, if we utilize that speed, even if we like shoot him over to the wing for a little bit just to adjust, I think that could be an adjustment. But I think he could. I could see him and Hoglander playing well together. I know you're kind of sold on the Pettersson, Hoglander, Carlson line.
Swedish House Mafia.
Swedish House Mafia. I think he could, with his speed, I think he could be good line mates with Hoglander.
I could definitely see that. And like, our lines end up in the blender so much at this rate where you just wonder how long any combination is going to last.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, like, at one point, what was it tonight? It was like, what was the lineup at, or just like one of the lines at one point, it was Pettersson, Besser. It was really random. It was Pettersson, Besser, and DeBrusk, and I'm not sure if that was like the lineup to start the game, but I feel like that's not a line you see together often, and maybe it was just an odd change, but
I think that might have been the line they started with, but don't quote me on that for sure.
If so, Rick Tocchet has no idea what he's doing. Sorry. That was mean. I wonder who is gonna wear the A now. That's just
I thought they gave it to Myers for today, but I'm not...
I didn't see it on his jersey.
Someone texted me and said that, but I'm not 100% sure if they were right or not. I know he's worn it a couple times this year in like relief of someone, so I feel like he's probably next man up, but...
Yeah, sure. He has worn it a couple times. It's usually, I feel like the order is like, it's Quinn Hughes, and then it was Pettersson and Miller. Miller's now obviously gone, and then it was Myers and then Besser, I think, also.
Sounds right, yeah.
Heinen wore one in the preseason. Do you want to see that make a comeback? Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
At this point,
everything's just a mess at this point. Why not?
you want Jansen Heinen to
You
have
can
an
have Finn wear
A?
one at this point.
Finn? Okay, that would be great. I want to see Carson no. Give it to Noah Juleson. It's either the A in the AHL or the A on his sweater at this point. Yeah, Pettersson, DeBrusque, Besser was one of the starting lineups. Brock wore when JT was out. I'd be happy if Myers got it. Yeah, it was the starting lineup. Yeah. Brock wore when JT was out. Yeah, I think Brock gets it because of seniority. Because he's the longest tenured Canuck.
That is weird to think about.
Yep. But, like, I think that Myers should get it because he's, from my understanding,
1,000 games.
1,000 games. He has a lot of experience. He's also like one of the one of like the main guys energy wise in the room, which is so fun to think about because that's just a lot of energy. Yeah, our centers tonight were Elias Pettersson, first line, obviously. Pius Suter, second line. Teddy Bluger, third line. Atu Ratu, fourth line. Yeah, as much as I like Atu Ratu and I like our senators, I think Suter moves over to the wing. I think Heinen, Ratu could also move on to the wing. I'm not sure who comes out of the lineup. It's probably Carlson. Unfortunately, should it be Heinen? Should it be DiGiuseppe? I don't know, but someone's got to come out.
Yeah, I wonder if even maybe they send Ratu back to the AHL for a little more seasoning.
Maybe.
My guess is, this is again completely guess, is probably Linus Karlsson, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's Ratu. DiGiuseppe, I feel, is probably pretty safe. Talkett really likes him.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, good for PGG though. Like, I'm a PDG girl.
I like him.
So
I like him.
I like him. We have two inarticulate Italian noise players now. We have two! Yeah! This is what we're gonna be doing every time that Phil DiGiuseppe or Victor, what's his actual... It was Vittorio
Mancini.
Damn,
Vittorio Mancini.
Damn, I didn't know he just finished coaching the Vancouver Whitecaps. That's insane. The Vancouver Italian Festival, or Little Italy, just lost their main spokesperson in Vancouver sports in Vanni Sartini, no longer Whitecaps head coach. They just got their new representative. They just got him. Yeah, are you ready to talk a bit more about Quinn Hughes and just the existential idea of him not being there?
No, but I will.
Okay, fair. If you're enjoying the show so far, you probably want more of this, right? Make sure to hit the like button on this video, click subscribe on our channel, and make sure to smash that notification bell so you're alerted when we go live. If you're listening to our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating or even write a positive review. If you really like us, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can find the Game Over Network on Blue Sky at thegameovernetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at GameOverNHL, on Instagram Threads and LinkedIn at Game Over Network. Alex, where can the people find you and all of your stuff?
You can find Nux Chronicles at Nux Chronicles on Instagram and Blue Sky. We also have a Twitter, but we don't really use it anymore because, all that. You can find my personal on Instagram at Alex_Rick03. Blue Sky and Twitter at AlexR27.
All right, awesome. And yeah, definitely check out Canucks Chronicles. They do some fun stuff over there. And you can find me, Kaja Mae, pretty much on anything under the sun. Yeah, but primarily using TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and YouTube, obviously. Alrighty, so Quinn Hughes missed some time during the third period there near the end. he obviously has been nursing something with his hand. He had like an Iron Man style contraption on it for a little bit. But he didn't look at the most comfortable skating, and that's not something you can say a lot about the Canucks captain. This is a worry, right?
Is there a stronger word than worry we could use?
This is a disaster? I don't know.
Yeah, that feels about accurate. This is pretty much our team.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, leading the team in points, also captain, also just running the power play, running everything for Vancouver, and he's out. I mean, we don't have an update yet, to my knowledge, knock on wood, but he's nursing a lower body injury. That's what it looked like. I'm not sure, like, what happened. He did that big hit on Dadonov, sent him into the corner. Also, massive hit. Amazing. It didn't look like he hit anything lower body-wise, but he only played one shift after that before going to the locker room. Returned later in the third for the power play, where he got an assist.
In cinematic fashion.
In very dramatic fashion, yes. But yeah, it looked like... It was really funny. They were talking about him skating around, and they're like, yeah, he's, like, wincing and stuff like that. I'm like, that's just what Quinn Hughes looks like. Like, that's just normal him, honestly.
Just looked sleep deprived.
He felt something uncomfortable as he was skating in some circles. Yeah, he didn't look so comfortable skating, which is not something good for any player, but especially somebody who's as good as of a skater as Quinn Hughes is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did miss some games earlier this season. How bad do you think this is going to be for the Canucks if he has to miss any time whatsoever?
So just prefacing again, this is all still an if.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet.
Yes.
If he does miss time, we're screwed. Pretty much. Like, this... You've seen this, I don't know how many people watching have seen this, but if you saw that thing that came out with our stats with Quinn Hughes versus without Quinn Hughes on the ice at any point, my god, it is... We don't look like the best team in the league in general at most points. When he's not on the ice, we look like... I'm not going to say a very good AHL team. We look like we'd be like kind of middle of the pack in the AHL sometimes.
I would say we'd be an ECHL club at best.
I think we'd be a good ECHL team, but the fact that we're still calling ourselves an ACHL team at this point in the NHL, bit of an issue.
Okay. Quinn did an interview. This might be post game. With Dan Murphy. I'm not sure if it's post game or pre game. I can't tell. It might be pre game. Yeah. He's a heck of a hockey player. It's just talking about JT. Elias Pettersson said, I wish him the best. He said, all we can do now is look forward. I wish him the best. Honestly?
You can actually feel the passive aggressiveness in that.
I love that. Honestly, like, this whole drama thing has been so annoying. But it's also so funny. If you think about it.
If I wasn't a Canucks fan, I would probably be enjoying this so much.
Oh yeah, it's just like last year when the Leafs were arguing with each other on the bench. I can't remember what game. Was it during the playoffs or was it during the regular season? And like, who said, was it Nylander who said stop crying bro, this isn't Junior?
I think so. I think that was start of the postseason, but I could be off.
Yeah, I mean, that was hilarious in of itself. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to find any... Would be so Canucky if the Canucks somehow lose Hughes to injury the same day they traded Miller.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to find... I don't see any news.
Okay.
Quinn Hughes injury... Yeah, I don't see any, like, mentioning of it for from like any of the Canucks media or anything. So maybe we get an update
Yeah.
later on. Maybe we don't get an update and it's just a one-off. What else? I mean, part of me is like, hey, maybe he should sit out of Four Nations now because that's a thing. Pietrangelo did it.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we mentioned. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Besser and Demko posted on their IG stories sending JT off. Okay, I need to check. What the heck? What did I do? You know when your phone, like, you press, like, a bunch of numbers, and then, like, it goes... Oh, Besser said, gonna miss you, brother, with a red heart emoji. Demko just posted a picture of them together. That's, yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but also, like, understandable.
Totally.
Trocheck had a post, with JT Trocheck, and the Millers, I think, are, like, family friends. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good for, I'm happy for them, but.
Yep.
Come on! Also, Trocheck, please get the puck in the net next time. Thank you. Rangers fan Kaja came out there for a second. We're putting that away for right now. Yeah, Quinn Hughes. You remember how he said what constitutes when we're a 5-alarm fire? I think this. If he's out.
Yeah. No, I think that's accurate. Like, we saw a couple games he missed earlier this season. The team just looked lost at points without him. It's a game against Detroit that we probably should win.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes isn't playing in that game. If we just go back to the overtime loss we used to be getting, if we can do that without Quinn Hughes, at that point I'm happy.
If we get a single point without Quinn Hughes in the lineup, I am happy. Wait, who are Detroit's goalies right now?
Talbot and they sent Husso down, didn't they?
Oh Lord. Alex Lyon's a goalie there? Yeah, Husso. Alex Lyon, apparently, I think he's their backup.
Yeah, because isn't Talbot the starter?
Yeah, it's Talbot, which is wild.
He's been decent this year, I thought. But, like...
Go Habs, go.
You know, he's...
Little loss there, buddy. How do you get an 8-57 in the win? I don't know. I'm still used to the, like, Reimer Nedeljkovic era of, like, last year. So I'm like, who is even a goaltender for the Detroit Red Wings? Remember when Ville Husso was really good?
It was fun.
That was a fun time. And then they were like, oh, Detroit got him. This is a big deal. All the eyes are planned. And then it's just... Detroit. Detroited. Yeah, who even, like... So, Lyon, Talbot. Yeah, it looks like it's Lyon and Talbot now. Husso looks to be their third. So, well. They are going to be...
Jack Campbell last year.
Oh, God. They are going to be, on a back-to-back, though. They play in Calgary on Saturday night, and then they play in Vancouver Sunday afternoon. So... could be in our favor. Again, if Quinn Hughes is out, I'd be surprised if we get a point. Yeah, it really depends who's in net. If we have Alex Lyon, I don't really know about that one, Chief. I'm not very... I don't have a scouting report on that guy. I just know he likes to stare at the camera. He's a good, like, third stringer. And I guess he's a good backup now, but...
Respectfully to my fellow Alex, I'm not really sure he's a guy I'm going to be worrying about if he's in net.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be worried about a Cam Talbot in net, but that's also just me.
Wouldn't be, like, worried, would be, like, you know...
It's not like Jake Ottinger. Let's just say that.
Like, you're not up against Connor Hellebuck, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's Canadian, he's not American, no worries. Because they just clear us in goaltending. For some reason.
Logan Thompson not make the Four Nations. He's like the one Canadian worth worrying about in net.
Yeah, he didn't. It's Montembeault, Bennington, and...
Hill.
Hill?
Aiden Hill.
Hill.
Yeah, like a small mountain.
No, I know who Aiden Hill. That's our. Oh wow,
That's the other
Hellebuck
one.
mentioned. Hi, Brandon. Um, in what situation could a Canucks rebuild be a blessing? If I have to hear rebuild or retool one more freaking time in this market, I'm headed over to Rogers Arena myself and having a strongly worded conversation. I cannot stand to hear those words. What do I think? We talked about the Miller trade, Luke. We did not win tonight. The Canucks did not win tonight. I yeah, Miller trade. I think it's good for both parties, better for the Canucks in the long term. Rebuild. Stop. Do you think are we headed to a retool? Are we headed to a rebuild?
Retool? I would not. I'm gonna be careful in how I say this.
You better be.
Not necessarily against, as long as it's like. You know how the Devils last year at the deadline sold some assets, went back in the offseason, were aggressive, tried to be competitive, and it's worked out really well for them?
Yeah.
Something like that I'm fine with, where the plan is just this year's a wash, go get it right for next year and come out swinging again. Like that I'm fine with. A rebuild.
I think that's...
God, no, we have Quinn Hughes. You cannot... We have... If he spends his whole career here, he's going to be the greatest Canuck of all time. You cannot blow this. Like, you have to... If at a certain point you have to hit the kill switch and blow it up, you have to blow it up, but you gotta try a little more first here.
This isn't like a Sharks level thing. Like, I feel like this is... The Canucks can work through this. I think a retool is the proper term to use, because the Canucks did the same thing 2 years ago. They got rid of Horvat. They brought in some assets. They brought in Hronik, who obviously, he only played 3 games that year, but, because he was injured. I think they're headed to a retool. It's going to be, I mean, yeah, like you said, similar to what the Devils did, where this year's a wash, let's get some assets, and we'll try again next year. I'm not sure if the Canucks should give up hope just yet, but that's also just me, being hopeful and optimistic for the first... Look at Washington's retool. Yeah, exactly. This team that was, like, cheering so hard that John Tortorella pulled a goalie in Philly, and then they made it to the playoffs and got swept by the Rangers. They're now at the top of the league, which, who knew Pierre-Luc Dubois could be, like, a good thing for a team? Like, I've never seen that before. But, yeah, apparently fourth team's the charm. Maybe that is how it works out for JT Miller. But... yeah, I think the retool with this year, maybe they can come back and get it to the playoffs. I am just... Sorry.
Like, I think making the playoffs, I think, is very feasible. We're like, what, a point out or something? In a while?
Okay.
Something like that? We
are 1 point back behind the Flames. The Flames have a game in hand. Again, it's the Calgary Flames. And we are 2 points back of third in the Pacific, because LA has 58 points, Calgary has 57, Vancouver has 56. Colorado is the only other wildcard spot, and I think they're currently up like 4-0 on the Blues after the first. That's what they were after the first, and that was a while ago. So they're probably getting the extra point tonight, but they have 60 and they're in the top wildcard spot. Yeah. It's just because of the division and the wildcard, how that all shakes out. So hypothetically, we could pass the Kings or the Flames.
I think playoffs are very feasible. It's just like, at the end of the day, I think we're going to make it. This isn't a year where I think you can realistically say we can go and actually do something once we get there.
Yeah.
Like, once you get into playoffs, anything can happen, yes, but I wouldn't exactly be betting the farm on actually doing something if and when we get there. So I'd be willing to say, like, if we have UFAs, you're not going to like me saying this, you might have to consider moving Besser as a UFA. You might have to consider moving Suter as a UFA. Wow, that is a death stare I'm getting right now.
No, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but
It would hurt.
it would hurt so 5-0. Okay. Who, because I know it was 4-0 after the first.
McKinnon score, I have him in Tim's picks.
Who, I don't even know who I have in Tim's picks tonight. I think I had Besser, so. You know what? If you're
And
not
Sam
gonna
Steele
score,
out of
buddy,
negativity.
that's fair. I almost picked him. I pick it on like who's my favorite. So Brock Besser always comes in, and he never scores whenever I pick him. Yeah, I think Brock Besser. I hope he stays a Canuck for my mental stability. And because I think like that. Mark, shut up. Mark's in the chat with trade in all capitals. Trade happening right now? What?
What's going on?
The Canucks are trading for Marcus Pettersson.
What?
This is breaking 8 minutes ago.
What's going on?
Elliot
What's going on?
Friedman,
What's
the
going on?
Vancouver Canucks are trading for Marcus Pettersson from Pittsburgh. What the actual hell?
Oh. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
We have 3 Petterssons.
Wait. Marcus Pettersson involved. This was a joke at the beginning of the season. I cannot believe it has gone on this long.
3 Petterssons.
3 Petterssons. Oh my god.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my god.
Do we have the return?
Rick Dollywell confirming? Okay, let me just get my affairs in order.
Oh my god.
What's the return, Elliot? They really got rid of Miller and said, let's bring another Pettersson. Heinen is the return. Desharnais and Heinen. Desharnais and Heinen. Yeah.
What? Is that the whole deal?
Let's go! Let's go! It's confirmed.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. We're trading for my... Okay. But the Canucks said... I got a tweet notification for the Vancouver Canucks. Oh my god. Okay, so... Oh, we traded the first. We flipped the first. Okay, the trade to the Vancouver Canucks is Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. And...
Oh, I like O'Connor.
Yeah, I know! We get Marcus Pettersson, Drew O'Connor, Pittsburgh receives Danton Heinen, Vincent Desharnais, and Melvin Fernstrom, and the 2025 first from New York Rangers. Oh my god!
Fleece. Brother Fleece. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
What?
Oh my god! We said that they would probably flip the first, but honestly...
Did not think it'd be that fast.
That's not while we're on air!
What
Oh
the
my
hell?
goodness! I'm just getting
Oh my
getting notifications on Discord, and I'm like, goal announces Pettersson, goal assisted by Pettersson and Pettersson. I thought we'd have to sell our soul to get rid of Vinny. True, I have been praying for him to be gone. I'm sorry, Vincent Desharnais. Hopefully you score your first indoor goal in Pittsburgh. Thank you very much for your service.
I liked Desharnais more than most people, but part of that was just because for some reason I sold myself on him in the offseason so hard that I needed to buy in a little bit too long.
Yeah, there's always one player that's like that.
And yeah, it was Vincent Desharnais for me. Heinen, not expect to see that. Okay, wow.
Yeah, I mean, Surrey Eagles legend, Danton Heinen.
Local product.
Local product. What is it with us signing, the Canucks signing local guys to, contracts and then just trading them the same year? Danton Heinen, Curtis Lazar. Yeah, it's the curse of Curtis Lazar, honestly. Like, I miss that guy. I liked him better than Heinen.
Lazar.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, Danton Heinen. Remember when Danton Heinen was on a line with Brock Besser and JT Miller during training camp? 5 big booms for third Pettersson. Boom! 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 We have 3 Petterssons. I mean, they're probably not all gonna play together. Let's be honest here. Elias Pettersson, the younger.
Oh my god, what?
That just happened while we're on air. That's never happened to me before.
Oh my god.
Okay, so,
Chose a good day to agree to come on the stream.
yeah! You know what? I'm gonna cut to the Q&A bit for a second, and then we're gonna talk after,
Oh, totally.
we're gonna cut to the fourth period. I'm going to do a little ad read first, and then we're going to just, after, we just had that whole moment about the trade, we're gonna talk about our reactions for it. But first, before we get to that, what better way to support something you love than by repping it on yourself? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique lines. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love for the goalies proudly with our live and die by the goalie design, or if you just need another coffee and a toque to get through the winter, we have you covered. Designed by Brady Chalis from Game Over Winnipeg, use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. Alrighty. Alex, what are your thoughts on this trade?
Oh, and
Cooking?
my brain has not joined us yet. Hold on.
I mean,
Wow.
I like this trade.
I did not remotely expect to see this, but like, I really like both of these pieces. I like Pettersson a lot. I've been wanting him for months, especially back before when I was thinking this is the year where we need to go for it. O'Connor's a guy who I quite like. And okay, sorry, so we gave up first from the Rangers, Bernstrom, Desharnais, and Heinen, correct?
Yes.
I am very comfortable with what we gave up there.
I honestly, every other day I remembered that Kyle Dubas is the GM. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes I'm like, if this trade happens, there's a reason that Kyle Dubas isn't the GM of Toronto anymore. Maybe Brendan Shanahan had a point. Maybe he had a point. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, Dubas occasionally just does something.
I liked him, but in comparison, to be fair, the last Leafs GM before him was Lou Lamoriello. So
I find a lot of the time, if I like someone who's involved in trying to make the Maple Leafs better, that's not necessarily the best performance review.
That's okay, fair enough. Yeah, we get Marcus Pettersson, who I just need to pull up his DB right now. Yeah, it went through because the Canucks tweeted about it. So, I mean, as long as there's no trade clause, I will not tolerate any Brandon Shanahan praise. I'm sorry, Zach. Yeah, I take that back. Marcus Pettersson, because yeah, he was being connected to he's from Skellefteå. I hope I pronounced that right. That's my favorite town name.
I would not know if you pronounced it right.
It's Swedish. Or no, it's probably Skellefteå. I don't know. Swedish pronounce.
Swedish.
Tell me if I'm wrong. He has 18 points in 47 games. Left shot D. Marcus Pettersson is a UFA at the end of the season.
Okay.
And then we also get Drew O'Connor. Yeah, I liked wait, why? Oh yeah, Malkin's injured. I was like, why is he grayed out on the Pittsburgh Penguins roster? He's injured. Drew O'Connor is left wing. He's 26. He has 16 points in 53 games. Then again, he's on the Pittsburgh Penguins, so fair enough. But yeah.
Yep.
Probably bottom 6 winger, I'd say.
I think so.
Decent piece for depth purposes. And then Marcus Pettersson, I think he's pretty solid for adding to our back end. So honestly, I don't mind him signing no more than the 4.5 AAV, especially with the cap going up significantly. I think that helps. This is a pretty good trade. Whoa. I thought it was
Ow.
so funny. It's so funny when Mark came in the chat and said trade, and we were just talking about pending UFAs and Brock Besser, and I told him to shut up. Now we're here. But yeah, you like the trade?
Yeah, no, I like that deal. What a day.
What a day. Oh my
Oh, man.
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we got the extra cap space. We send away the first, which I mean, I'm kind of happy with because it was conditional and it was like top 13 protected. And if the Rangers don't get their crap together in the next few weeks, it looks like it's going to be a top 13. So, we almost have 6 million cap space. That's pretty good. I mean,
It's pretty good.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, we talked about flipping pieces. This almost didn't have to let go of Besser for a top 4D. Honestly, that's my Stanley Cup. Do we think, okay, is this team a contender now? Or is it get to the playoffs and, okay, you're telling me to chill. So, is this a team,
Let's
is this
you
a
guys play a
playoff
couple
team?
games first.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
Playoff
this
team, I'm going to confidently say yes.
okay. I'm gonna say
Wild
yes
card,
too. Wild card, yeah. But I think
Like-
this is a playoff team. But if we're a second wild card team, we get Winnipeg in the playoffs, which means automatic ticket to the second round. So, because Connor Hellebuck, while he may be really good, postseason
He's
is
not going to score many goals.
I hope not. We've had 2 goalies in Canucks history.
Yeah.
I think we're the team that has the most goalie goals against them. Because we have one from 2003 and we have one from Allmark. Purely depends on what PD we see, TBH. You're going to have to be even more specific right now, though. We have 3.
Oh, God. This is going to be so annoying for me as the writer.
Oh, yeah, because you just wrote a whole article about this, and now you have to go back and do it.
Now I have to write another article probably before I go to bed.
Oh, for the Pedersens, too.
Now I have to figure out how to refer to Elias Pettersson, Marcus Pettersson. Now DPD might not work, so you got 2 of them.
Oh, yeah! MPD, okay, I think DPD
Can't
would
just
be...
go first name basis, because 2 of them are Elias and Elias.
Okay, I think Marcus Pettersson is DPD now. Elias Pettersson, the second one, 2004 born, is repeaty. I think it
I like
goes
repeaty better than DPD.
I think it goes PD for Elias Pettersson, number 40. Then DPD for Marcus Pettersson, because he's a defenseman with seniority.
Most defenseman.
And then Elias Pettersson is repeaty. I think that's how it plays out.
I'm going to offer 2 things here.
Okay.
One, what my dad's just been doing is EP40, EP25.
Yeah.
So we might just have to go to numbering them. 2, depending on what happens the rest of the way with EP40, is the 3 Pettersson thing going to be a problem? Or will it return to being a 2 Pettersson issue? Just saying, because everyone seems to be getting traded.
I think that Elias Pettersson stays a Canuck. I think there's more risk than reward in trading him, but that's also just me.
That's like a... I'd like to see him stay, obviously, right now. I think trading both him and Miller is...
dumb.
At that point, you are blowing it up, whether or not you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of the reason why I think they made this trade now is so that they have the rest of the season to decide what to do with P40.
Yeah.
But, like, ultimately, I do think keeping him is the right way to go.
Yeah, and, like, also with the cap going up, 11.6 is going to be... Like, it's still significant, but it's not going to be as much of a burden, and we get more money for a Quinn Hughes extension. Sorry.
Oh.
Put your questions in the chat. I know this is technically Q&A, but, like, a lot has just happened, so questions in the chat for me or for Alex. Change their number to 1, 2, and 3. No, number 2 is reserved. No, number 3 is retired for Kevin Bieksa. Number 2 is retired for Luke Shen, and number 1 is retired for Kirk McLean. None of that is true.
Not even Dan Hamhuis?
Oh shoot! I'm sorry, Hammer, but I love Luke Shen. PD1, PD2,
The Yankees
PD3.
have number 8 co-retired for 2 players. I think we can have 2 co-retired for 2 players.
Yeah, fair. I mean, the Leafs have like 500 numbers retired for 2 players, so because they're like so old. Sorry, Zach in the chat. What about good PD, mid PD, bad PD, interchangeable depending on performance that week? I'm gonna make a chart. I had this idea at the beginning of the season and I just didn't make it, but I was gonna make a chart like they have in like kindergarten classrooms, ranking behavior, but like how good they're playing. I need to get into that, because I think that would be so funny. Avery says, imagine doing voiceover work for NHL 26 if all 3 Petterssons are on the roster in 25-26. The goal from...
Pettersson to Pettersson. Finds Pettersson. Back for Pettersson.
No, literally, Pettersson to Pettersson to Pettersson. Goal! From number 40, Elias Pettersson! Yeah! Assisted by number Marcus Pettersson. And also assisted by number 25, Elias Pettersson. Yeah. Yeah, that's my Al Murdoch impression. It's not good. I'm sorry, Al. Yeah. What do you think of Pettersson? What do you think of Pettersson, Alex?
They get a little specificity.
No, you know, just what do you think of Pettersson?
Very Swedish.
Thank you. Call that a PD hat trick? Oh my gosh. If they all get a point on the same goal, it's a PD hat trick. What are your defensive line predictions? Oh.
Ooh, I like that question.
Hughes Hronek stay together.
That's an option.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably experiment with a little bit first once Marcus Pettersson arrives, but I think right now I'm really liking Hughes and Myers together. I might leave them together, try Marcus Pettersson with Philip Hronek, and then Susie and Forbert, Susie, 2 left shots, so great, love that.
Mancini.
Right, we made another trade today.
Yeah, the initial trade that we had a whole segment on, which is now...
Okay.
I think Mancini could be a 7th D, and then just rotate in with, like, Forbert and Susie. I think that's what happens.
Susie. I like Forbert a lot better than Susie to play the bulk of the minutes, but also Susie's on a bigger contract, which I feel means they're probably going to try to work things out with him.
Yeah.
And, like, he's had a bad year, but I don't think he's a bad player, if that makes sense. Like, we saw what he did last year. He was very good. He just kind of needs to find that rhythm again.
He scored a very good goal tonight.
Supposedly.
Thank you, Luke. You make me love the Canucks. It's a trying time sometimes for the Canucks nation, but I think there's a healthy respect between Canucks fans and Habs fans. But I mean, that's also just because Nux Memes loves Habs fan TV for some reason. Yeah. I'm just here to see what Canucks fans are saying about these trades. First one, I may like, so we don't have to pay a 37-year-old $8 million. Second one, I really like because we have a decor now. We have a decor. And we got the decor. I know. We got the decor by trading Vincent Desharnais and Danton Heinen. Like, that's insane.
We have a decor and Brock Besser.
We have a decor and Brock Besser. This is, you know what? This team, I think they win the President's Trophy. Honestly, we're not going to lose a single game the rest of the season. We are going through the rest of the year. Quinn Hughes, drop out of Four Nations, buddy. Who cares about putting on that AI-generated USA sweater? Wait till the Olympics next year. This is our year, bud. We're going... How many games do we have left? What's 82 minus 51? Quick. 30... No.
And out the calculator. I'm a communication student. I don't do math.
What is 51? No. I messed up already.
32 minus 51?
What
31.
Sorry, 31?
31.
31. We have 31 games and a first. Okay, well, that first was going to be going back to New York anyway, because it's conditional for a top 13, and New York sucks this year, so it's going to be a top 13. And I say that as a Rangers fan. I think I like this trade. Honestly, 31 more games. I think we win the next 31. We're going on an insane tear. Washington, get out of the way. Ovechkin, you can still have your record, but we are taking actually, no, probably not the President's Trophy. Winnipeg's actually at the top of the league right now. But they're a point ahead of Washington. Actually, whoever wins the league, you can take the President's Trophy. We're going all the way because we have Marcus Pettersson and what's his name? Drew O'Connor and Vittorio Mancini and Filipino. Yeah, Phil the Thrill. We traded Vinny. We have to trade away a third as well to give him away. Yeah, exactly. Like, we needed Desharnais, literally negative value. So W trade, yeah. Recent video. Sorry.
There's something I wanted to bring up. Now that we have a D-core, I wonder how this is going to start affecting the goalies. Because, Lankinen had a little bit of a downstretch, seems to be back on the upswing now lately. Demko has not been great this year. But also, look what's in front of them. Do you expect them to be good with that? Our goalies might have help.
Yeah, now our goalies might have help.
Yeah.
I like that.
Might be able to get the puck out of the zone.
It's... Wow. We went from the Vancouver Canucks to Vancouver Pattersons. Thoughts? I like it.
It's nothing if not accurate.
I mean, it would also be accurate if we were the Vancouver Hugheses, just saying.
Canucks. I can't take credit for that. That was what Nux Memes titled one of his articles on our site.
Okay, I was like, that is amazing.
No, that one, JC's funnier than me. That one's him.
All right. Yeah. Any more questions that we have for Alex and myself for the game, the trades? Wild to think about.
Still can't believe that dropped while we were on air.
I know. This is so exciting. It's so exciting. Also, did you see the recent video? Quinn post-game, he looks hella exhausted, looked like he barely couldn't stand there. Yeah, he's carrying an NHL team on his back, and he's 25. Give him a break. Let that man, take him out of the Four Nations, and let that man go to, I don't know, Fiji. Where do people go on vacation?
Cancun?
Cancun? I guess. Yeah.
Wherever he wants to go.
Wherever he wants to go. If he wants to go to Yellowknife, good on him. No judgment.
I will drive him to the airport myself.
Yeah, Yellowknife is capital of Northwest Territories. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Whitehorse is Yukon.
Whitehorse is Yukon.
Maybe he played too much. I don't know. I feel like similar thing happening to Lane Hudson. And Lane Hudson's like, what, 12? He needs a break. But yeah, that's basically what Quinn Hughes. We need locker room presence, and I don't know much about Marcus Pettersson regarding being a locker room leader. I think he could step up to the role. I think he's...
Probably, he's veteran player, at least.
I think you have to name your title to Marcus Pettersson trade. Yeah, probably we'll have to do that. Wow. I think, yeah, no, Pettersson I don't know a lot about him personally, because A, I've never met the dude, and B, I don't follow the Pens as closely, but I've seen him in a few TikToks, I'm not gonna lie. Seems like a pretty fun guy. I think he fits in with the team, and hey, we need locker room, if we have locker room presence in Tyler Myers. He's a lot of locker room presence, so how many jokes
Still
am I
can't
gonna...
believe we just
Sorry.
still don't believe we just made a Miller and Pedersen trade on the same day.
I'm just gonna let you sit with that one for a minute. That's wild. Oh my god. You're right. We made a Miller and Pedersen trade on the same day. It's not the same thing a lot of people would think.
Nope.
But hey, Marcus Pedersen,
Oh my god.
welcome to the Canucks. I just audibly sighed. Yeah, good one. Yeah, that's honestly really good. You're not wrong. We made the Miller deal, we made the Pedersen deal. Now, all the trade rumors between those two can rest because one's gone, and hey, New York has to worry about two Millers now. So, I went through the Rangers comments on the post where they said, "Welcome back, JC Miller," and there's so many comments just like, "We said trade Miller, but not like this." And I was like, you know what? Okay. I mean, Keandre's cool too, but I mean, his ceiling.
Hey.
Sorry.
I don't watch the Rangers that much. I was under the impression that K'Andre Miller was good. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, he'd be good on the Canucks.
Yeah.
That's not saying a lot because the Canucks defense core is like half AHL.
Well, not
so
anymore.
Not anymore. Before tonight.
I said about half an hour ago we have a decor.
Before we started the stream, his ceiling is being as good as the other Marcus that was traded from the Pens.
Finland?
Naslund? Was Naslund?
Who's to the Canucks specifically? That was Naslund.
Okay.
Naslund was a Penguin before he was a Canuck. Traded for Alex Stoyanov, something like that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Proceeded to do absolutely nothing, and Marcus Naslund turned out to be, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't born when that happened.
But, I missed that too.
Yeah, I missed it by a little bit. The only other Marcus I can think of in the league is, like, Marcus Foligno. I don't think he's ever been a Pen. Is the other Marcus...
I don't...
Is that supposed to be... So? Is that supposed to be Naslund? That trade was also a fleece. What is it with the Penguins not making good trades specifically to us?
Gotta trade with them more.
Yeah, honestly. We should try and get Crosby. Making me feel old again. I'm sorry! The New York Millers and the Vancouver Pedersens playing the Stanley Cup. We'd have to imagine that because that's just not happening. Only one of these teams is making the playoffs. Mark my words. And it's not the New York Rangers. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh my god. Full circle. Marcus Pedersen, so he was drafted an Anaheim Duck in the second round of the 2014 NHL entry draft, where the Canucks, he was picked, I think, 2 picks after, let me just double check. He was picked 2 picks after Thatcher Demko.
Oh no.
Fun fact, yeah. It was Thatcher Demko, Alex Nedeljkovic, Marcus Pedersen. So 36, 35, 34, 35, 30, no, 36, 37, 38. I can do numbers. Who was... Okay. And right after them, Vitek Vanacek. But yeah, 2014 draft, is that when we didn't draft William Nylander, and I still don't think about that at night. Glad to get rid of Desharnais. He was awful from the get-go. Or dreadful from the get-go. Yep. I remember when he signed him, I was like, do we really need another defensive liability tall guy, or tall guy defenseman who's a penalty liability? Obviously not. I mean, yeah. Right, full circle moment. I think we have enough to end the show after this drops. All right. So
Yeah.
Marcus Pettersson drafted second round, 38th overall, 2014 NHL entry draft by the Anaheim Ducks on December 3rd, 2018. He was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins from the Anaheim Ducks for none other than Canucks legend, 9 NHL games played for them, Daniel Sprong. So Marcus Pettersson was traded for Daniel Sprong.
Oh my god.
How many?
Scored our first
7
goal of the
years. Scored first goal of the season, and left for Seattle. Is he still in Seattle? Or he was waived, right?
I think he's in Coachella Valley.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
sorry, is that Juleson 315-7 with Noah Juleson when he isn't there 19-3-3? I feel like that may be not accurate.
I think that's inaccurate, but I saw a record with and without him, and it's a lot better without.
Yeah. Well, you know
It was
what?
like same number of wins with and without, but the number of losses was noticeably different.
I mean, I think he's probably our 7th D, let's be honest. Because he has the experience over Mancini.
Yep.
But
Also, Rick Tocchet loves him.
yeah.
Rick Tocchet gets to pick the lineup. Boom.
He shouldn't.
I'm not gonna say I disagree with you.
He shouldn't get to do it. Why does he get to have all the fun? No. I think when he is playing their 3-5, yeah, I think hopefully he gets rotated out more. But yeah. Any last statements there, Alex? It's been a fun night.
Glad I picked today to join the stream. My brain hurts, but this was fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Just
wow. Yeah, a lot has happened in the last hour and a half. Yeah, the Canucks. We started this. The Canucks lost 5-3 to the Dallas Stars in Dallas. Just before the game, they trade JT Miller with Eric Brandstrom and Jackson Dorrington to the New York Rangers for Filipino and Victor Mancini. And a first-round pick in the 2025 NHL draft. After the game is done, they flip that trade, and it is now. I had the trade. They flip it. It's they get Drew O'Connor and Marcus Pettersson for Danson Heinen, Vincent Desharnais, Ferdstrom, and the first rounder that they got from the Rangers. Wild time. I've been
what a day.
I have been Kaja. I'm here with Alex from Canucks Chronicles. Make sure to check out their site. They're on Instagram at Canucks Chronicles, and yeah, do a lot of fun stuff over there. Subscribe down below to Game Over Vancouver. Like the video. Check out all the game overs. We'll hope to see you back for the rest of the season. 3 Petterssons in the team lineup. I don't know if they're ever gonna crack the team lineup together in the kind of next week before the break, but it would be really funny if they did. Anyway, hopefully, just for the memes, they should do it. Yeah, just for the bit, please. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us for the night. Thank you to Mark for telling me to check out Twitter, because without him I probably would not have checked my phone to see what had happened. So shout out to Mark, another one of the Game Over Vancouver hosts here. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight, chat, and we will see you after the game on Sunday, when the Canucks host the Detroit Red Wings, and Alex Lyon maybe in net? We don't know yet. And hope to get a win with or without Quinn Hughes. fingers crossed is with. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and yeah, have a safe weekend. It's supposed to snow, so stay safe out there. Have a good night, everybody.